This is Barbara Ellistad with Mesquite Local Newspaper, and we are here today with Charlie Sellner, who is a candidate for City Council in the 2011 elections here in Mesquite. Charlie, I'd like you to give us just a real short synopsis of your background.
Primarily, I've been in corporate and retail small business management for over 35 years. We moved to Mesquite 7.5 years ago. I had a choice of relocating to any place in the country, and through passing through Mesquite, I just absolutely loved the town, and we decided to locate here.
Great. Briefly tell us what your basic campaign theme for Mesquite City Council is.
The theme itself is I want to bring a different perspective to the council, perspective that of a small business owner that actually has a small business in Mesquite. I think diversity on the council is very, very important, have thought so for many years. The reason I have run, this being my third time, I just think the small businesses in Mesquite have kind of had a back seat in the town, and I'd like to do a little bit to try to correct it.
Great, thanks. What specific areas should the City Council focus on in regards to improving the relationship between the existing business community and City Hall?
I think primarily our economic development focus has been more directed outside in trying to bring in new businesses, and not enough focus internally. If we go out and try to adopt a new child, you don't want to forget the children at home. You really need to focus inward and give the small businesses that are here a real good chance.
Good. And how would you do that?
Every business, no matter whether they're here or elsewhere, there's some basic things that they need. They need support from the community, shop locally, very, very important. We also need signage, we need visibility of signage, we need business access, and I think we're falling short in some of these areas. And I don't want to be come across as a business knows it all. There must be direction from the city, but I think that when you start to pendulum up on one side, you should bring it down to the bottom, not go clear up the other side. And I think the city, we have gone up to the other side. I think it needs to be brought back to center.
Okay, great, thanks. How would you work to attract new businesses to Mesquite, though, to broaden some of the business base that we already have?
To me, when I was looking to to locate our business here, I looked at the future prospects, and I saw businesses at that time that were doing fairly well for a small town. But to me, the best way to attract new businesses is to have a very vibrant existing business community. When a new business wants to come here, they're going to look at the empty stores that are here and say, wow, if they couldn't make it, how can I make it here? The overall picture is to help what we have here, and new businesses will come. We have the climate, we're getting the population, and if we can give some more help to who we already have, then new businesses will come.
That's an interesting perspective on that issue. Thank you. What kind of economic base do you think fits Mesquite best?
Diversity. We have a good base with the casinos. We have a good base with the golfing community. And I think we need to diversify this. If we keep just focusing on those events, of course the long drive is an excellent event, but you'll find from a business perspective that professionals coming in town don't spend a whole lot of money other than for the rooms at the casinos and so forth, maybe some of the restaurants. Also, we have focused a lot on senior type of sports, which is absolutely great. I am a senior myself, so I like this idea. But again, seniors don't spend a lot of money. They already have everything that they need and so forth. I'd like to see more events coming in town, bringing families in, and youth sports, and focus a little bit more on that.
Okay. It's probable that Mesquite will see fewer dollars coming from the state-controlled tax collections in the next year or so. How would you soften the impact of this reduction on the city's budget?
The budget, I of course have read through the budget, and yes, I do see some harder times coming, especially for the city. More so, I think the business as well start to pick up prior to the business taxes coming back up to full speed. Going through the budget, I find that there are a lot of places, department-wise, that have been cut a lot more drastically than other places, and I think there is still room in there to cut some more. I would not want to be one to cut the most important functions of government, as public safety has got to be the primary. But I look at it from a business standpoint, and I still see a lot of room that we can make improvements in reducing the budget. I want to be very, very fiscally conservative on the council.
Are there any specific areas of the budget that you would want to cut after you just mentioned that you had gone through the budget?
Well, actually no, because not specifically at this point, but I don't think there's anything that wouldn't be on the table. I have not spent a great deal of time on the budget because I don't want to waste my time on doing something where I have no control over it. So the budget will be a primary focus if I do get on the council, but if I don't get on the council, it's kind of passé because I can't do anything about it.
Okay. In your opinion, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the Lincoln County annexation of the land north of the city?
The advantages, of course, would be that we would have some local control over how the property is used, and of course it expands our tax base. We have to be ready for it. We have to be able to handle the additional traffic. It's something where I am generally for it, but I'm also generally concerned about it. I think if it's done properly, it would be advantageous for Mesquite.